I would rather die than go back to prison. Coronation Street aired a shocking stairwell showdown for Rob Donovan during his efforts to escape prison. In tonight's episode, viewers saw Rob and his prison officer girlfriend Mandy turn on sister Carla Connor in a dramatic turn of events. Viewers recently saw Rob generously agree to become a kidney donor for Carla, but the convicted criminal's kind gesture was all part of a bigger plan, revealed tonight, as he used his time in hospital in the aftermath of Carla's operation to stage a breakout from prison, with what appeared to be deadly consequences. Fans saw Carla come round from her successful surgery, with Roy Cropper, Ryan Prescott, and Bobby Crawford all at her bedside. Bobby told his aunt that he was thinking of visiting his dad regularly in prison after his seemingly selfless act to save her life, but Carla warned him to still be careful given Rob's track record of trouble. Elsewhere in the hospital, Lisa Swain dropped in on Rob, who asked her outright if she had managed to overturn his conviction, following her earlier promise. "I'm not going to help you," she responded, leaving him raging. Rob then tried to blackmail her by mentioning the recording he had of her promising to help him following the surgery, but Lisa shut him down instantly, saying she claimed she was under duress when the recording was made. After Lisa left the room, a visibly angry Rob made a call to Mandy and asked for her help after being stitched up. Mandy wasted no time in enacting Rob's new plan, waking Carla up from her hospital bed and pretending that Rob had been taken ill following the donor operation. After getting Carla into a wheelchair, she pulled out a gun and held it to Carla's head, telling her to follow instructions. The action returned to Rob, who persuaded the prison guard to release him from his handcuffs by pretending he needed the toilet. The next thing viewers saw was the guard lying in Rob's bed instead, with a bloodied nose, while Rob limped off, dressed in his uniform. Mandy successfully escorted Carla out of the hospital without raising suspicion and took her to an abandoned office block. She then sent photos of Carla in her vulnerable state to Rob, who confronted Lisa with them in her car shortly after she arrived at the hospital. "I need cash, so I'm gonna need you to transfer some money to me," he demanded. $5,000 should cover it. She agreed to give him the money, but persuaded him to take her to Carla first to see if she was okay. Back in the abandoned office building, Carla asked Mandy to do the right thing, but Mandy told Carla about her and Rob's plan to run away together to start a new life. Carla laughed in response, failing to believe that Rob was really in love with her, and warned her to leave him, but Mandy confessed she was pregnant with his child. Rob and Lisa then arrived outside the building in the car. He demanded the money, but instead Lisa used her phone to call Kit Green and catch Rob out. He quickly caught on and beat Lisa up, leaving her unconscious before he headed in to find Carla. Inside, he found Carla and Mandy and tipped Carla's handbag out to get her credit card, before demanding her PIN number. Carla gave it to him and warned that Rob and Mandy's escape plan wasn't fit for a baby, revealing the pregnancy to an otherwise clueless Rob. Rob was taken aback by the revelation and told Mandy to get a termination, which led Mandy to believe that Carla's warnings about Rob were true. Rob accused Carla of poisoning Mandy against him and set upon her, pressing down on her surgery scars, causing her to shriek out in pain. Mandy went to help Carla, but Rob shoved her away, and she finally realized what a monster Rob is. Mandy then left the scene, leaving Carla and Rob alone. "I would rather die than go back to prison, and if that means taking someone with me, then so be it," he told Carla. As he went to leave, Rob told Carla that Lisa was in worse shape than he might have let on, awakening her anger. She charged at Rob as he walked down the stairwell, causing him to fall over the banister and plummet to the ground. An awakened Lisa then entered the building and saw Rob on the ground. "But is he conscious or not? What have you done?" Lisa asked Carla. "I would rather die than go back to prison." Coronation Street's shocking stairwell showdown. In a heart-stopping episode of Coronation Street, Rob Donovan's desperate bid for freedom reached a chilling climax, leaving viewers on the edge of their seats. The dramatic stairwell showdown between Rob and his sister Carla Connor was the culmination of a meticulously planned escape that took a deadly turn. The episode, filled with tension, betrayal, and raw emotion, showcased the lengths to which Rob was willing to go to avoid returning to prison, even if it meant putting his own family in selfless gesture. After agreeing to donate a kidney to his sister Carla, who was suffering from a life-threatening condition, Rob appeared to be turning over a new leaf. However, as the night's events unfolded, it became clear that his act of generosity was nothing more than a ruse to facilitate his escape from prison. Carla, recovering from her successful surgery, was surrounded by loved ones, including Roy Cropper, Ryan Prescott, and Bobby Crawford. The atmosphere in her hospital room was one of relief and gratitude, with Bobby expressing his newfound respect for Rob after his apparent act of kindness. "Maybe he's changed," Bobby mused, to which Carla cautiously replied, "Be careful. Rob's always got an angle." Her words would prove to be eerily prophetic. Meanwhile, Rob was plotting his next move. In a tense confrontation with Lisa Swain, the lawyer who had previously promised to help overturn his conviction, Rob's true colors began to show. When Lisa informed him that she would no longer assist him, Rob's anger flared. He attempted to blackmail her by referencing a recording of her earlier promise to help him. But Lisa stood her ground, claiming she had been under duress at the time. Frustrated and desperate, Rob turned to his prison officer girlfriend, Mandy, for help. Mandy's role in the escape, Mandy, who had been romantically involved with Rob, found herself drawn deeper into his web of lies and manipulation. Despite her initial reservations, she agreed to assist him in his escape plan, driven by a misguided belief in their future together. Mandy's loyalty to Rob was put to the test as she carried out his instructions, which included waking Carla from her hospital bed under the pretense that Rob had fallen ill after the surgery. In a chilling scene, Mandy wheeled Carla out of her room, only to reveal a gun and hold it to her head. The tension was palpable as Carla, still weak from her operation, was forced to comply. Mandy's actions marked a turning point in her character, as she crossed a moral line that would have lasting consequences. Rob's desperate bid for freedom. Back in the hospital, Rob executed the next phase of his plan. Feigning a need to use the restroom, he convinced a prison guard to remove his handcuffs. In a moment of brutal efficiency, Rob overpowered the guard, leaving him bloodied and unconscious in the hospital bed. Donning the guard's uniform, Rob made his escape, limping through the corridors with a determination born of desperation. The stakes were raised as Mandy successfully smuggled Carla out of the hospital, taking her to an abandoned office building. The location, dark and foreboding, served as the backdrop for the escalating drama. Mandy sent photos of Carla's vulnerable state to Rob, who used them to confront Lisa once more. In a tense exchange in Lisa's car, Rob demanded money to fund his escape. "I need cash. So I'm gonna need you to transfer some money to me," he said coldly. $5,000 should cover it." Lisa, realizing the gravity of the situation, agreed to his demands but insisted on seeing Carla first to ensure her safety. This decision would prove to be a critical moment in the unfolding drama. Carla's defiance and Mandy's awakening. In the abandoned office building, Carla confronted Mandy, urging her to do the right thing. "This isn't you, Mandy," Carla pleaded. "You don't have to go through with this." But Mandy, blinded by her love for Rob and her belief in their future together, revealed their plan to run away and start a new life. Carla's response was one of disbelief and scorn. "You really think Rob loves you?" she laughed. "He's using you, just like he uses everyone else." Mandy's confidence wavered as Carla's words struck a chord. In a moment of vulnerability, Mandy confessed that she was pregnant with Rob's child. The revelation added a new layer of complexity to the situation, as Carla warned Mandy that Rob's escape plan was no life for a baby. "Do you really think he's going to stick around once he finds out?" Carla asked, her voice filled with urgency. Rob's true nature revealed. When Rob arrived at the office building with Lisa, the tension reached a boiling point. He demanded the money from Lisa, but she had other plans. Using her phone, she discreetly called Kit Green, a colleague, in an attempt to catch Rob off guard. However, Rob quickly realized what was happening and lashed out, leaving Lisa unconscious in the car. Inside the building, Rob confronted Carla and Mandy, his desperation growing with each passing moment. He emptied Carla's handbag, searching for her credit card, and demanded her PIN number. Carla, ever defiant, gave him the information but warned him once more about the futility of his plan. "You think you can run away and start over," she said. "What kind of life is that for a child?"